Blessings to you. Welcome to Artist Impact. I'm your host, Jere B. This show is all about great music of every genre. We highlight, feature, and critique singers, bands, musicians, poets, and rappers from our local region and from all over the world. Most you may have never heard of before, but we bring them right to your door to encourage them and see how we can impact their career. Now, helping me to do this is our Impact Panel, or as I like to call them, our Panel of Love. These are all entertainment professionals, and what they're going to do is review and critique the two artists we're presenting in this episode and see if in some way, somehow, they can impact their career. Now, maybe not. We'll find out, but let's introduce today's panel. And I'm telling you, this brother stays on the Billboard contemporary jazz charts. He can't get off no matter how hard he tries. This is my friend from Atlanta, Georgia, super producer, Dennis Johnson. How you doing today, brother?
God, Jerry, I'm doing very well, man. How you doing tonight?
Absolutely excellent. And I tell you what, you can't say saxophone without saying Joyce Spencer from the great state of Texas. This is her third time rocking with us on Artist Impact. How you doing, Joyce?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back on the show. I'm honored.
Always. You have so much to give, and we love you for it. And I tell you what, Robbie is the smoothest singer. Don't let nobody tell you any differently. Rocking it from Virginia. Also, third time's a charm for you on Artist Impact too. Robbie, how you doing?
I'm good, Jerry. How you doing, man? It's always a pleasure to be here and hopefully influence some young folk.
Man, the pleasure's all mine. But I got to tell you what, Dennis, what I said was absolutely true, man. Every time I look at the Billboard charts, Reagan has a song, Bob has a song. Everybody you're working with is like rocking that. How do you make it look so effortless, my brother?
Tell you, I've been in this so long that, it's just become, the word they use is muscle memory. And it's just been a blessing. We had a really good year with Bob and Reagan, and I just thank God that everything, it's just been working out. The stuff that she's been doing has been well received with radio. So
absolutely. Well, you guys are a power couple, man. You're a power couple for real. I love your production. Absolutely. So thank you for joining us, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And Joyce, I tell you, every time that I listen to a Joyce Spencer recording, it is always taking me on an adventure. When you walk into the studio, what is the first thing that you're thinking of doing as the Jerrys out here are waiting to listen to what's next?
The first thing I think about doing is expressing my soul, the depth of my soul, because music is just more than just notes. It's a ministry.
Oh, man. And you do minister. I got to tell you, I really appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.
And Robbie, wow, what Joyce said was so incredibly special as far as ministry is concerned. Now, what do you tell all of the younger artists that you work with? What is the first thing that you try to impart to them?
Probably the first thing is be as authentic as possible. Be yourself, express yourself, because that's what's come with the crowd more than anything.
That's absolutely right. Well, you know how grateful I am that you joined us tonight, man. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Well, let's bring on the first artist of the evening. She's all the way out in Los Angeles, California. And here's one thing that's really interesting about Sandra. She's a scientist, a singer, and songwriter. And that's so interesting. I want to know, how do you juggle all of these things?
Well, for me, over the years, I've been singing right from when I was a kid. And as much as I was singing in church, I was also going to school to become a marine biologist. I have a PhD in marine biology. So I think I have built that skill over the years to be able to juggle the two. I think that's how I've been able to manage all that.
Well, you've done wonderfully, and you've sent in an incredible song called It Is Well. I would like for our viewing audience to check it out. Can we do that?
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you.
comes my help. My help comes from the Lord, it's my help. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I believe it is well with me. God is my keeper and my shade. The Lord is my shield, yes it is. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I believe it is well with me. I believe what His word says to me. It is well. It is well with me. It is well. It is well with me. It is well. I have all that it takes. He has given me His grace. There's every promise in His word. He has made a way. I believe what His word says to me. It is well. It is well with me. Yeah. It is well with my soul. It is well with me. It is well. He put food on my table, clothes on my body, shelter for me. Lord, I am thankful for taking care of me. I believe what His word says to me. It is well. It is well with me. It is well. Well, the light of God shines through me. By His stripes I'm made whole. The favor of God is on me. I'm the head and not the tail. In Him I have everything. Everything is working for my good. He has broken every constant chain. In Jesus' name, I am free. By His stripes, the favor of God is on me. I'm the head. In Him I have everything, everything. He's for my good. He has broken every constant chain. In Jesus' name, the light of God shines through me. By His stripes I'm made whole. The favor of God is on me. I'm the head, not the tail. And He might have everything, everything. It's for my good. He's broken every constant change. In Jesus' name. By His stripes, the fear of God is on me.
That was an incredible, energetic song. Dennis, what do you got to say about it, man?
I get it. I got it right out of the gate. It just felt good for me.
Mm-hmm. Joyce, what do you say?
Wonderful message and beautiful voice.
Absolutely. Robbie, what you got?
Yeah, we're starting this off right with a church song. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. Well, let's go in a little bit deeper. Dennis, tell her how you really feel about the tune, bro.
Okay. First of all, wow, you're a scientist, which means you're a lot smarter than I am. The song I thought was great. I really, I'm a producer, so I'm listening to the production. Whoever produced the track for you, rock solid, very well mixed, beautiful balances, vocal, timbre, everything. Love your accent. That's what really drew me in to the song. Absolutely love the accent. Your vocals are spot on. The only thing I can say about the song, and it's not even a critique, it's just personal opinion. I mean, the record, it could fly either way. At the end of the song, when the choir behind you, when they're singing that last chorus, I would have liked to heard you go up, and kind of like maybe improvise, riff with them, just a little bit, kind of go up with them. But you didn't, but it's okay because it still works. Like I said, it's just a matter of preference. But that was really my only thing. Like I said, it's not a gripe, it's just personal preference. But I love the song, love the message.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Brother Dennis. And Joyce, what do you have to say to Sandra?
Well, a lot of what he just said is what I was thinking, but let me add that the instrumental arrangement was excellent. Whoever did that, I loved it. I love it. Verse 4, how that break was there, and you came back in. Those are all important elements in music and making it interesting. And it gave me the feel of like a Fred Hammond or I'm trying to think about Hezekiah Walker, that type of instrumental background. And I thought that was very nice and very important to go behind a powerful voice like you have. And even towards the end of the song, on the outro, we'll call it the outro, I kind of wanted that same thing that he just mentioned, that you take it to another level, or do I have another vocalist, maybe a male vocalist, go back and forth. One of the most interesting things that Donnie McClurkin did, Great is Your Mercy. It's the same verse over and over, but he used a different singer. So actually, I didn't find anything wrong with your song is what I'm trying to say. Like I said before, I love the message to your song, and I really believe you delivered it well. I could see your heart and soul in it. So great job, Sandra. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was absolutely on point. And from singer to singer, Robbie, what do you have to say, brother?
Yeah, Sandra, my first impression from the title, I thought it was going to be a remake of the old hymn, but I was pleasantly surprised that it was an original piece, and just I would echo everything the previous two judges have said. I loved it. I loved it. Your vocal technique, the instrumentation of the song, the production and everything was great. I really enjoyed it. I coming from a church background. I got it.
Thank you.
Absolutely excellent. On point. Well, Sandra, you've heard everything that the panelists have to say. Do you have any questions or any pushback of your own?
Well, I'm so excited to get this positive feedback about the song. This song in particular has been a song that I have written over the years. And I'm so excited that as much as this song has blessed me, it's also blessing other people.
Oh, yeah, it really has. Well, it blessed us. So we want to thank you very, very much. And don't go anywhere. We'll come back to you. But we have to go from Los Angeles to Cleveland, Ohio, right down the street from me to a brother named Nathan Paul, who is rocking it. You don't call your music music. Tell us what you call it, brother.
I call my music sound medicine.
Sound medicine. And why do you call it that?
I call it sound medicine because I feel that musicians are spiritual doctors.
Wow. That's on point, man. Well, you sent in a couple of videos, but the one we chose for this show is called Travel Socks, man. And it is just absolutely dynamic. Do you mind if we just put it out to the audience right now?
Roll the tape.
Roll the tape. talking about an adventure, Travel Socks takes you everywhere and even further than that. Dennis, what do you think about that tune, man?
Yeah, cool vibe and solid production value.
Absolutely. Joyce, saxophone player, what's up?
I love the motif in that place. You kept it relevant throughout. Great work.
Definitely. Robbie?
I loved it. I loved it. Great instrumentation, great solos, great vibe all around.
Fantastic. Well, Dennis, why don't you go in a little bit deeper, man? Get out the shovel this time, brother.
Get out the shovel. Yeah, man. Yeah, I dug the track. I dug the song. My wife is a flute player, so I'm listening to your flute playing, and I'm listening real critically. I like the way, I know it's not easy switching back and forth between, flute and sax, flute, different embouchure and all of that, but you seem to, pull it off pretty effortlessly. And I dug the song. I dig the way you play. You have a very unique sound, very unique style. I was listening to your tone. Everything is solid. Now, I'm gonna be honest, is this a radio song? I don't know if it's really a radio song, but I'll say that to say this. It's because maybe it's not a radio song. I think it's a great vibe for like a movie, like a suspense action kind of thing. You may want to try to pitch that to some music library type situation. See what you can come up with kind of a licensing deal, because really it feels like it should be in some kind of cinema or TV, film, something to that. But solid, man. I dug it. I dig what you do.
Ooh.
Absolutely fantastic. Now we got to go from saxophone to saxophone. I know you got your shovel ready.
Well, let me just talk about the song. I love the double time, or in the background, if you will. And that's what I felt. And I love that contrast. In other words, a fast four through a slow four. And I love how you took the hook or the motif, whatever you want to call it, and it remained relevant. I could hear it. I want to call it Take 5, because I heard you do some genius stuff with 5 notes, maybe 6, with some solos in between. And that's the beauty about jazz fusion, that you don't have to have the AADA form, etc. You don't need any of that. So when the first time I heard that fusion back, I'm not going to tell you that, I might tell you my age, but it was Weather Report and Billy Cobham. And there's nothing better than that kind of music live. And it gives the musician, your musicianship was fine. Having the flute and sax, I do understand the challenge of switching quickly, like you had to, it was right there ready to go. And having your guitar player repeat it as you're switching is excellent idea. I mean, I just heard a lot of great things. And after hearing it all, I got the impression that you had much more to offer, if that makes sense. I can tell by your energy, okay, we're going to stop it right here, but I really have a lot more. Your guitar player is awesome. And I could hear almost like a roll your boat, one of those melodies and the other one going right under it, and you guys just expressing it. So I'm a little excited because I love non-radio music, because you're right, it is spiritual. Because you're not conforming, you are really releasing something spiritual. And I felt it, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the song as much as I enjoyed your sax and flute playing.
Fantastic. Now, Robbie, come on in, bro. What's up?
Okay, my first question is, what do you got against travel? I mean, travel sucks. I mean, the title is okay. Okay, but outside of that, I'm one of those musicians or artists who's all over the place. So I love gospel, jazz, R&B, all of that. So to me, like you said, music is definitely medicine, and it's definitely a ministry. I think this song could not have been presented better if it wasn't a live take, a live video that we saw, because the energy was there. The song was there, but the energy in playing the song came across really, really well. They got to showcase your chops and everything. So I really enjoyed it. I like that. I'm gonna have to check out your website because I'm gonna become a fan for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Nathan Paul, you've heard what the panelists had to say. Do you have any questions of your own or any pushback at all?
I don't have any pushback, but can I just respond?
Sure, absolutely.
First off, I don't think people realize how deep the love is amongst the saxophone community. First off, secondly, the opening comment about the radio. I mean, this was a live show. It looked like everything that y'all had on here was video. So I sent you what I had video, but I definitely had some radio stuff too. Released a lot of different types of stuff. But you're right, I did have a lot more. And if you are gonna check my music out, there is a lot to choose from, different styles. And I would like to say on that song, I see a lot of the younger cats, trying to do this thing called trap jazz. But trap specifically is like 808 and very specific elements. And that's something I've kind of been working on, trying to really develop that sound. Not say it's trap jazz because there's a beat and a repetitive melody, because you're using all the elements and the attitude and all that. But anyway, I tend to go off, so I'm trying.
All right, man. I'm so grateful for your critique and for your own, explanation of your music. I want the panelists to just stay where they are, but we have to bring Sandra back just for a second because I need to know what's on your front burner. What are you working on that we can expect in the future?
Well, for me, I am still writing, I am still recording. So hopefully in the future, more songs will be produced and released.
Excellent, excellent. And Nathan Paul, you got a lot of stuff, I guess, happening from Ohio.
Just follow me, folks. It's going to be interesting.
That's absolutely excellent. Well, Dennis, I know that you're going to be on Billboard next, but what happens after that? What are you working on?
Reagan's album done, just got released a month and a half ago. New single is coming out very soon. We just signed another artist to our label. Can't say when it's coming, but just expect some great music coming from the Landis label. Excellent.
Joyce, you're always popping. What's happening next?
I'm still working on my EP, Hidden Treasures. Mm-hmm. The first 2 tracks came off very well. Saxophone made #1 in Italy. Sometimes you receive better overseas than you are in your own country.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm just still in the process of finding my lane, because I'm realizing after saxophone that Joyce Spencer is not all smooth. And I'm inspired by I want to say Nathan Paul. I love that stuff, y'all. I really do. So the energy behind music. So that is just part of my journey right now, to create my own lane and find out, when I'm in front of my audience and what they love.
Very, very cool. Robbie, what do you got popping, bro?
Well, I'm working on quite a few things. I got some at least 3 EPs coming out next year. And so I'm just really working on that, working with a couple of artists to do some vocal production and doing some sync licensing stuff. So, yeah.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate all of you, Sandra, Nathan Paul. I know that you are going to do your thing. Is absolutely on point. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And that's going to do it for this round of Artist Impact. Thanks again to our Impact panel, Dennis Johnson, Joyce Spencer, Robbie Cunningham, and a special thanks to our artists, Sandra Lamb and Nathan Paul. Make sure you support their artistry by going to a show and buying their music and merch If you are an artist and you have an original performance music video, submit it to artistimpact.armstrong@gmail.com, and let's see if we can impact your music career. I'm your host, Jere B. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. God bless.